All right. Being that it is not 10 of 7, but 6 o'clock, I'd like to call to order the Town of Van Buren Zoning and Planning Board meeting for October 14, 2025. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Camry, can you do a roll call, please?
Mr. Sykes?
Here.
Mr. Roman?
Here. Sorry.
Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mr. Virginia?
Here.
Ms. McMahon? Here. Mr. Schalchenbach?
Here.
Mr. Gudash?
Here. So everybody received a copy of last meeting's minutes electronically. I have a couple comments in there which I will then provide to Camry to make. Does anybody have any comments at this point? I'll go through mine quickly. Once again, I apologize for not getting these to you ahead of time. I apologize to the board also. On page 2, 6 sentence down, a paragraph down, motion made by Ms. McMahon, seconded by Mr. Virginia to recess the public hearing. That should be closed, the public hearing. Stop counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, on page 5, second sentence down, chair asked code enforcement officer if he had copies of the grease trap. I just added details and plan to that. Ninth sentence down, chair advised the board will require a site plan approval installation of the sidewalk. I actually changed that. Now I see why you put board in there, but I just said the chair advised the applicant will require. Well, you could leave that as board, my apologies. I reread that now. 12, 13 sentence down on the same page. Chair responded that he cannot speak to that due to him not being on the board at that time. It should read, the chair responded that he cannot speak to prior approvals prior to him becoming chair. 10 on page 10. 11 cents down, chair will send a letter to the town of Geddes advising there are no objections to the board. It should read, code clerk to send copy of the minutes to the town of Geddes advising there is no objections to the board. And then the second to last page, 9th sentence down or 9th paragraph down, chair stated the stormwater needs to be sized as well to refer to section 221.33 of the code, as those items need to be addressed before the board can approve anything on the site plan. This should read, the board can make a referral, addressed before the board can make a referral back to the town board. And that's it. Once again, I apologize. Chair entertain a motion to approve the September 9th, 2025 meeting minutes as revised with changes.
Move. Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against?
I abstain.
Approved with clause being abstained. Thank you. And I'll get out. You can have these after. All right.
No.
First item on the agenda is Jammer's Boat Storage, 6952 Winchell Road, tax map ID number 055.04-02.1. This is for a site plan review and area variance.
Never asked you.
Chair entertain a motion to leave the general session and enter into public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Let it be known that we are now in public hearing. Give your name and address, please.
Good evening, Ben Harrell with CHA Consulting, 300 South State Street, Suite 600, Syracuse, New York, 13202.
Excuse me, could you turn that
Can you
that
turn
way
that
so
towards
the
the public?
public can see it? Thank you.
So when I was before you last month, there were county comments and a couple board comments regarding a property line that went or was shown cutting through here. We have since found the 2023 subdivision map and ensured that it was filed. So now the Jammers parcel and this rear parcel are all one single lot as previously approved. So that eliminates the county comment about ensuring there's proper access to the facility and the board comment about a property line cutting through the existing stage structure. So today we're seeking an area variance for a side yard setback from 25 feet to 10 feet for the construction of a proposed boat storage building. So this is requested due to the grading on the site and the existing roadway and stage that is on the property. So as you'll see on this plan, with the 10-foot variance, we're able to extend the existing roadway to use to connect into the boat storage building. And if we were to comply with the 25-foot setback, so I guess part of this is thinking about future development throughout the rest of the parcel and potential. So the idea was to keep it forward, to preserve rear future commercial development. As you can see here, if we were to push the building out to 25 feet, we would have to snake this driveway up to get everything in order for them to pull boats and trailers back and store them. So you're sharing an access with future commercial tenants. And it adds a lot of impervious area compared to if we did not, or if we're able to keep it at 10. So this plan here adds 3/10 of an acre of impervious coverage along with a approximately 200-foot long retaining wall. It'll vary between 5 and 7 feet in height in order to maintain those two buildings. If we're able to keep the building at 10 feet off the property line, you could have two potential buildings, a third one here with no retaining walls, all the grading works, and it's a 3/10 of an acre less of asphalt pavement to provide the same parking that's required for the three buildings. So that's a big tax revenue for the town in the future when it's developed. So that's the main reason for requesting the reduced area variance. Additionally, we're over 500 feet off of Walton Road and off of Winchell Road, so it'll have no impact on neighbors. There is a town, I think it's a salt structure on the adjacent property. It's about 10 feet off of the property line as well. I do have a figure that shows it on an aerial overlay. So it would be set back a similar distance to as the existing town storage structure on the adjacent property. From a firefighting safety aspect, the buildings only overlap about 25 feet, so you could easily get access to either building in a worst case emergency. So I guess I'll open it to the board then.
Well, first we're gonna turn this over to the public. So, as mentioned, the applicant is looking for a approval of a side yard setback of less than, 15 feet less than the code, from 25 feet to 10 feet, and that's both the rear and the side yard setback, is that correct?
I guess due to the irregular shape, it depends on how you interpret which yard. I think with this lot consolidation, it was supposed to be side, it'd be two sides.
Two sides,
That's
okay.
how the board wants to interpret that.
Thank you. And overall site plan approval. So I guess I'll open it up to the public. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against this application? I ask again, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against this application? Hearing no comments, Chair, entertain a motion to close the public hearing and enter back into general session.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Let it be noted, we're back in general session for Jammers Boat Storage, 6952 Winchell Road, tax map ID number 055.04-02.1. Site plan review and area variance. Can you give your name and address again, please, for the record?
Ben Harrell with CHA Consultant, 300 South State Street, Suite 600, Syracuse, New York, 13202.
Okay. Thank you for going through the effort to address comments that were provided by, as you mentioned, the county ahead of the previous meeting, and then the comments from the board. It looks like you've addressed most of the comments. You do show what is that? Is that future development? What is that? Can you quickly explain that? If I missed it, I apologize.
Three buildings.
Yeah.
They're just general footprints of what they're anticipating. It would obviously be compliant with the code, but it would be either some type of office, retail. It's unlikely that a restaurant would be put there just due to competition with their existing restaurant. But that would be an allowed use.
And you show a 7.5% grade slope on the proposed driveway for that small segment. Do you know what the slope is leading up to that? That proposed? Yeah, what's that existing
This here.
slope? Well, more so coming right off of that. It looks like it's steeper based on the contours.
Let me flip the grading plan. This section here.
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah, it
about.
looks like it's slightly steeper. I mean,
So I think this topography here might be a little outdated. Those lines extend further. They did a small asphalt addition off the back of the stage, so I think those existing contours actually extend up and it's a similar slope.
So the driveway behind the restaurant, or the driveway behind the restaurant, that exists today?
Yes, this light gray is
Yeah.
what exists and the dark is proposed.
So I did miss a meeting, so maybe it was brought up during that meeting, but I thought the whole reason for the need for the variance was that 7.5% slope. But now we're hearing a whole new reason with future development that is not in our packets. It's the first time I'm seeing it. And that seems to be the primary reason for the need for the variance.
So it's a combination. When we have the 7.5% slope. If we pushed it further, the driveway would have to come out here, way out here, in order to get the slope to work.
I guess what I'm asking to start is this the first time we're hearing about that, future development? Was it brought up at a previous meeting?
it was brought up for the potential, but yeah.
Was it the one, it must have been the one I missed two meetings ago?
Yeah, it was the last meeting.
I don't remember it being brought up. The drawings that you show for that future development,
Yeah.
those aren't part of the packet that you submitted. Is that correct?
No, these are figures to help understand how the driveway will get reconfigured. So if you cut this driveway right here, you're gonna be at 15%. So you have to push the driveway way out here, which would impact future development.
Yeah, I see that. I just don't know why it wasn't submitted as part of the packet that you submitted. If you're trying to make a case for why you need a variance, why not include that information in the packet that you submitted?
I apologize, it was more of a figure, I guess, just to help the board visualize.
The other thing is it's a 25-foot setback. You're asking for 10. You're asking for a difference of 15 feet in a lot that's huge. You could do a lot of different things with future development to move things around and probably not need the variance. It doesn't seem like that 15 feet makes much of a difference over the size of that lot.
So I guess our argument would be it doesn't make much of a difference from the property line either. So you are making a significant difference to the future development. You're losing over 10,000 square feet of buildable, rentable space. You're adding 3/10 of an acre of parking area to accommodate the revised driveway. You're also adding 200 feet of...
That whole narrative would have been nice in this packet. We would have had a chance to sit down and read through that and evaluate that instead of hearing it tonight for the first time.
Yeah, I think the argument is that, has this, future development's not on the table right now. I mean, we're not reviewing the site plan for future development. We can't even begin to understand what that future development could be or couldn't be. And Jim's 100% correct. There's a large lot here that can be worked to meet code and work with future development as the property owner and their associates, engineering or whoever, planners, to be able to project those improvements ahead instead of just simply coming back to our board and saying, we need 15 feet, on two different sides, on two separate portions of that building. And I don't want to say that, and I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it I guess the way I'm going to say it, but it kind of seems like it's the easy way out. That's all I'm suggesting here is, have we fully looked at other options? And I see that, you've extended that driveway, but, you're going to have to, is that the tightest that a vehicle could use to make those turns?
So if you push this driveway tighter, your roadway is going to be above the stage. So then you can't have musicians easily back up and unload the stage. Currently the stage sits about 3 feet above the roadway, so when you back up a box truck, you can easily unload. So the driveway does have to get pushed all the way out here in order to make it work if you were to comply with the 25-foot side yard setbacks.
But we don't see that grading either. I mean, that's the other thing, is we're taking your word for it, and, you're an engineer, and we should, but it's just, we just don't have that, as Jim hinted at. We don't have any of this information in our packet to be able to, make a decision on that. All we have is a set of plans that show a 15-foot set, or a 15-foot need for the setbacks, and what needs to go into that building. I guess answer the question that was, I believe, made by James, is what's going in this building that this building needs to be so big. You answered that with 2 of the different documents that are in here.
But said another way is we're only supposed to grant the minimum relief required. And it's hard to see what that minimum relief would be over this huge a parcel that could be developed in many different ways. So it's just a hard ask,
Yeah.
I mean, could we get away with 5 foot of a variance? Can we get away with, something less than the 15 feet that you're, basically asking for?
So I guess the answer to that is not without significantly impacting his future abilities on the property.
Once again, we can't be concerned with future development on that property. That's, unless something was brought in front of us to say, we're looking at this whole property and this is the site plan and this is what we plan on doing for development, or we foresee this as being the future of development. This is how it's going to all interact as we try to build this new building. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the board is.
Not for nothing, this is a PUD, and it was slated for all kinds of great stuff when Jake Wright owned it, okay? But the future development that you're talking about may dictate that that road have to change anyway.
So this is no longer a PUD. That's part of the problem. It was rezoned to industrial A according to the
You're
town.
right.
So if that future development, well, if that future development is all commercial development, it would still fit within the zoning, the current zoning.
Yes.
But future development may require a difference in that road than you're proposing today.
So that would be another benefit of pushing it this way. You're not sharing your access with this future development. It would be an isolated, you could have a gate here to separate it, and then the commercial is all completely independent. This roadway would sit a lot lower. Right now, you have to pick this roadway up significantly in order to have it tie in here, because as you can see, you have 455 on this side of the site and 430 here. 25 feet of grade change across the site creates significant problems.
And this board in the past has required master planning for the whole lot sometimes. So you don't run into these conflicts.
Yes, and that's what we're trying to do. We just don't have time
We were aware.
at this time.
Is going with 25 and 25, let me see how to phrase this. Would it impact the ability to pull boats and down that roadway because of the grading?
If the roadway was kept here,
Yes, if we're just looking at grading and not future development.
the roadway would be above the stage. The roadway would be at 15%. You wouldn't be able to do it. You'd have to build the roadway way out here in order to get up there. Because you're working two different angles.
I don't know where you want to go.
So I guess I'll, ask the question is, alluding to what I said a few minutes ago, is there somewhere in the middle to reduce the need there without going full-blown, 0 to 60? We're at 0 with asking for 15 feet. And then the worst case is 60, which is that layout that you have right there. Is there something in the middle that would work and not impact that stage? For the setbacks, is there a way to move that building 5 feet? Is there a way to move that building 10 feet and ask for a smaller?
Not in order
Variance.
to reuse this roadway. Even as small as a 5-foot difference, I would love to tell you that we could push it another 5 feet and only request a 10-foot variance, but ultimately, it's this pinch point distance here.
Okay. All right.
And then, so this is where the restaurant has all their deliveries, so
Yep.
that's at grade, and then the stage, so between this point here and here, you just get over 80%, and you're gonna have your trailer and your boat bottom out as you go up there.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just a reminder, the board doesn't have to make a decision tonight. If you wanted the applicant to, I guess, submit some of these plans so that the board could look at them, you could do that. And
Understood. Thank you.
Yep.
Does any of the rest of the board have any comments on this? Concerns? Well, we can go two ways here. We could call for a vote and do a resolution on this tonight. Can't speak for the rest of the board on where this is going to go. Or we can hold off and get, additional information and, move on from there. I guess I would, completely leave it up to you. I can pull a straw vote right, of the board and see where everybody stands for the
See if they want
applicants?
to take a vote tonight for
Yeah.
table.
Yeah, that's good. We can do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it, not a straw vote of how you would vote, but if you want to vote or not.
Yeah, if you want to
Yeah,
vote
fair.
tonight. Yeah, that's what sorry, that's what I
Good.
meant. I guess I would start. Claude, what's your thoughts?
More information.
Jamie?
Yeah, I don't know, seems all right to me, I guess.
I'm gonna go with more information.
Bessie?
Yeah, I'm okay with what's been submitted as far as the 1 through 5 for the area variance at this point.
Roger?
I think we need more information.
James?
I have everything I need.
Split right down the middle.
I love when you guys do this. All right, we're gonna do we'll do a vote tonight. I will read the resolution, and then we'll do a roll call vote following the read of the resolution. Lot 1, Winchell Road LLC seeks variance relief from section 200-45 of the Town of Van Buren zoning code related to the setback for an accessory detached storage structure on vacant property located at 6952 Winchell Road, tax map number 055.04-02.1 in the Town of Van Buren. Applicant applied for an area variance to allow a detached structure to be located less than 25 feet off the side yard lot line. The property, consisting of approximately 13.92 acres, is located in Industrial A zoning district. Section 200-45 of the zoning code requires a 25-foot side yard setback for detached accessory structures. Applicant seeks to locate an accessory boat storage structure 10 feet off of the property's side yard lot line at the rear of the property. Applicant explained that the placement of the proposed structure was influenced by the location of the driveway and topography of the property. It is further acknowledged that the property is an irregularly shaped parcel with a 20-foot wide drainage easement and 20-foot wide sanitary sewer easement. Owners not indicated, in parentheses. Located to the west of the proposed boat storage building, a 20-foot Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation easement located along existing power lines, a 40-foot wide access easement along the northern and eastern parcel line. There is an open area on the property labeled Future Development Area. In support of the application, applicant submitted an application for variance, short environmental assessment form, sheet C100 titled Overall Site Layout Plan with zoning narrative prepared by CHA Consulting Inc., dated August 18, 2025, sheets A100 titled Floor Plan and A-201 titled Building Elevations prepared by McKnight Architects, dated August 11, 2025. CHA Consulting appeared before the board on behalf of the applicant, offering the board an explanation for the requested variance relief and addressing the board's concerns. A public hearing was held on October 14, 2025 pursuant to public notice. Based upon the submission of the applicant and testimony presented at the public hearing, the board resolves as follows. 1. The matter is unlisted under the State Environmental Quality Review Act as it involves an individual setback and the granting of an area variance related to location of detached accessory structure. The board does hereby appoint itself lead agency for the uncoordinated review of this matter. The board finds that granting the requested relief will not result in any significant adverse impact upon the environment. The property is not located in a critical environment area, and as proposed, the granting of the variance relief will not pose any significant impact upon the water, air, agricultural resources, or community character and growth. 2. With regard to the requested variance for section 200-45, it is determined that an area variance relief will not produce any undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood and will not be a detriment to nearby properties. Variance relief will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. Neighbors did not express any opposition to the variance. There is no apparent method to achieve the benefit applicant wishes to obtain other than a variance, and the benefit to the applicant does outweigh any detriment to the neighborhood or community because of granting the variance relief. 3, for the reasons set forth, the variance relief for section 200-45 is hereby granted to allow any accessory detached storage structure to be located 10 feet off the property side yard lot line as set forth on sheet C100 titled Overall Site Plan Layout prepared by CHA Consulting, Inc., dated August 18, 2025. End of resolution.
Mr. Chairman, just a couple of things. They submitted updated plans tonight. Obviously, this resolution was prepared before those were submitted, so I would just make sure that those new plans and dates are captured in the resolution. I believe these were all October 9th.
Yeah, we've got them. Yeah.
All right, let me, all right, going back to third paragraph on page 1, in support of the application, applicant submitted an application for variance short environmental assessment for sheet C100 titled Overall Site Layout Plan with Zoning Narrative prepared by CHA Consulting, Inc., dated August 18, 2025, and revised on October 9, 2025. Sheets A100. Sheets A100.
I don't think that one changed. Did that change?
No. Sheets A100 titled Floor Plan and A200 titled Building Elevations prepared by McKnight Architects, dated August 11, 2025. Also including sheets C101, C102, C201, and C301, and C302 dated August 8th, 2025, revised on October 9th, 2025. End of revisions and resolution.
And just those same changes would be carried over into paragraph 3 on page 2. Just this for the record, I think.
Yep, with the same changes being carried over to section 3 on page 2.
Just one other note, because of the subdivision issue. Previously, the parcel was listed as 13.92 acres. Is that still the case, or is it?
So it would be 16.7 now that it's combined.
First paragraph of the resolution, we're going to change the property consisting of approximately 13.9 to 16.7 acres.
Just a point here, we're only voting on the variance in this resolution, is that right?
That is correct. End of motion. You do a roll call vote, please.
You move it first?
Sorry. Move.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments. Can we do a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Sykes?
No.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Rouse?
Yes.
Mr. Virginia?
Yes.
Ms. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Shashenbach?
No.
And Mr. Ruda?
Yes. So they are hereby granted. So now we need to approve site plan for the same item. Give me a moment. Too many papers. Chair, entertain a motion to approve the Lot 1 Winchell Road LLC site plan for 6952 Winchell Road, Warren, New York, 13164, as shown on sheets C-001, C-100, C-101, C-102, C-201, and C-301 and C-302 dated August 18th, 2025, revised on October 9th, 2025. And a motion.
Are we having any separate discussion on the site plan?
Okay.
What about lighting for site plan? Is there any proposed lighting on the building?
This time solely because it's going to be used by the family, so it would come during daytime hours only. If there was to be lighting added, we would come back before this board for any lighting approvals.
Okay. That was it.
Any other comments? And a motion. Move.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
That clock didn't even move.
Can't even. Oh, really?
Teasing us.
Before we move into the second item, I apologize, I meant to do this at the beginning of the meeting. I want to introduce Chaz Gambino. He's going to be the Director of Codes, and he will oversee the Codes Office moving forward. Chaz, thank you for coming in. Welcome to the team. Okay. Next item on the agenda is Dr. Kadera and Mrs. Hart at 422 Duport Road, tax map ID number 064.03-46.1. This is for a area variance for lot coverage and building height of an accessory structure. Chair, entertain a motion to exit the general session and enter into public hearing. Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against? As you know, we're now in public hearing. Name and address, please.
Hello, Alex Hamray with Keplinger Freeman Associates, 6320 Fly Road, Syracuse.
Can you let us know what you're trying to do here?
Absolutely. So, as he mentioned, we are looking for an area variance to bring up a previous approval in 2023 to compliance. The interpretation of lot coverage had previously not included this asphalt drive. All of this, up until this accessory structure, has been installed at the site, and they came back for building permits. The building had slightly increased, but otherwise this is all within the approval. So we are retroactively or bringing that up. And then the accessory structure in the last approval, I think, missed the building height variance. It did not change height between the approval and the, so I don't know, did the letters get out, or I brought them?
I got one letter.
Because I brought more, because I know those were late, I
Is there
apologize.
just one letter?
Yeah, for the neighbor that's right here to this side, those are their signatures. This neighbor, there is no permanent resident, no one is living here. And then this is the HOA store facility, so.
Thank you.
This is the one. But I apologize for those being late, Katerina just was tracking.
All good.
I think that is all, unless I missed something, which I'd be happy to address if you want to already remind me.
Just for the audience, so you are looking for a variance in lot coverage from what was previously approved at 29%
Correct.
to 43%?
I think I put down 45. It is 43. Or did we decide last meeting that we were?
Yeah, I'd like to go to 43. I don't want to go
Yep.
any higher than we need to.
I
obviously,
agree,
based
I
on
agree.
last-
43%, and yeah, and the building height is 28 and code is 15.
And the building height is 28, not 29.
I thought you said 20. Oh, did we go to round up to 29?
28 and 5/8 of
There we go.
So it's 29.
28 and 5/8. So, yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Chair looks for any comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against this applicant? I ask again, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against this application? Hearing no comment, Chair entertain a motion to close the public hearing and enter back into general session.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against? Let it be known, we're back in general session for 422 Dewport Road, tax map ID number 064-03-46.1. This is for an area variance for lot coverage and accessory building height. Name and address again, please, for the record.
Alex Sabre, Keplinger Freeman Associates, 6320 Fly Road, East.
Before you go into that, I just want to read into record that there was a letter submitted by the property owners, as previously mentioned, to the members of the town of Van Buren Zone ZBA. We own and live at the home at 428 Dewport Road. We live directly next door to 422 Dewport Road, owned by the Kadura/Hart family, and we are aware of the proposed project of a recreational building to be built in their rear left side of the yard. We have reviewed the plans and agree that this project would not interfere with our quality of life or the quality of the neighborhood. We are signing this letter in support of this project. You got Allison Marikovitz and Greg Marikovitz. Hopefully I said those names correctly. Okay. So, the recreational accessory building has not been built yet.
No, that was not installed. They went and installed all of this, and as you can imagine, that was expensive. And so that they are coming back after saving, now they're coming back to do this.
So without the recreational accessory structure building, the lot coverage would be 32%?
It is still over, it's not at the approved because this wasn't included.
That's correct,
Yes.
right. So it is over what was approved. So if for some reason this doesn't get approved for lot coverage, 32% needs to be looked at because it would then suffice for
Correct,
the
it's still out.
property as is today.
Yeah, yep.
Thank you. Board, do you have any comments?
I've got two applications. One dated 8/28 and one dated 9/8. And one requests 45% variance with a height of 32 feet for an accessory structure. That's the 9/5. The 8/28 application doesn't address a height variance.
That's correct.
That was the old one. We had a conversation that week and he asked me to submit the height variance.
Okay, so this one's no longer
Correct.
valid.
Yeah.
So this one's supersedes. Okay.
Correct.
I figured as much since it was dated. So is it, now the plans, the codes officer, so is it 32 feet?
What's
The accessory structure height?
28 and 5.
5'8".
Is there a peak to this building?
The peak is 32 feet.
Yes.
The
So
median height is 28 5 That's what they're looking for.
And the code reads that we go to the median height, not the peak.
Yeah. I had put in 32 to be
Right.
safe.
Right,
Other
and that's
towns
kind of
would-
where I'm kind of going, what are you asking for then? Because
So
here
I
you're
had-
asking for 32 in the application.
Yeah, so I asked for 32 at the meeting, we changed it to 28,
29 feet.
29, yeah, yes.
Okay. I think I'm caught up now, thank you.
So this is a big building,
Correct,
and inside this building is going to be a basketball court.
yes.
Golf simulator as well.
Yes, there's all simulator, yep,
Seriously?
Uh-huh.
yes.
I didn't know that.
I looked at the plans.
And there is no, I know we've addressed this, I know we've talked about this, and there's no way to achieve the goal of this structure without being a smaller building.
Not for what the homeowners want to do to accomplish those things.
What is the, and this is for codes, what is the side yard setback for an accessory structure? Is it 5 feet minimum?
This is a PUD, right?
Okay, so 5 feet was approved, I'm assuming as part of the POD. I believe that's the case for this neighborhood,
For accessory structure.
for accessory structure.
Yeah.
Yes, not the permanent structure, or not the residential structure, which all those match minimum 5 feet in the two
Yeah.
corners. So I guess I open it up back to the board. Does the board have any additional comments on this application?
I didn't see any lighting on here. Is there going to be lighting? And then,
Was that a no? Sorry.
No, sorry.
write it down.
No, my bad.
okay, yeah, I was waiting for the, so, looks like all the windows, the side elevation. So I didn't see a compass on here. Where on the side elevation, where are these windows on the side elevation based on this plan? Are they facing the adjacent property owner?
Sorry, which ones?
These windows right here.
These ones are on, no, they're facing out.
The pool side.
Yeah, so, yeah, the bump out, yeah.
So they're facing here.
No, the pool side.
No, the pool side is the front.
Right, the front, the pool side's this.
This, and this is the rear facing the neighbors.
Okay, so this is the neighbors?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because it wasn't very clear based on the plan. Okay, that's the only question I had, to see if we were going to get light bleeding over from the windows to the neighbors.
Did I hear that there's other letters from the neighbors, or did I?
So no, because this is the only neighbor, there's no one living here, and this is the HOA storm retention, so that was the only neighbor.
As far as the 43%, have you checked that? And I don't mean that facetiously,
No, I
or
don't know.
insulting.
We checked it several times after this, and ran the numbers of where the issue came from, and it was definitely the asphalt drive that was causing the issue. It's definitely 40%.
Does, in this
And that
one,
includes pavers, pool, deck, literally anything impervious, 43%.
that's what I was gonna ask. Deck around the pool, yes, but the pool itself?
Yes, absolutely everything is impervious.
And this little patio here off to the side?
Which one? Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And we don't see any more coverage on this lot.
No.
I don't know if we could put anything more on this
I don't think you can either, right?
with the grading and everything the way it is.
Yeah.
It's not like grass.
Any other questions, comments, concerns from the board? Out in the hall?
What is going to be used for sound attenuation with the basketball being bounced in there? Is that going to reflect out through the walls?
No, I don't have the exact package. We'll get to the final one. It has sound within the facility. It won't.
Rod's built that into the plan?
Yes.
Because I can hear the phone ringing now about the basketball good being dribbled.
I hear you. What are the golf balls? Any other comments, questions, concerns?
How much is he charging to practice the golf game?
All right. Katrina Hart of 422 Duport Road has applied for area variance relief from section 200-45 of the Town of Buren zoning code to increase the permitted lot coverage to allow for the construction of backyard improvements consisting of an in-ground pool, patio, walkways, recreational accessory structure, and a building height variance to allow for the accessory recreational structure to be 29 feet tall. The property is located in the planned unit development PUD district and is identified as tax map number 064-03-46.1. Under section 200-45 of the zoning code, the maximum permitted lot coverage in the PUD zoning district is 20%. In September 2023, applicant obtained an area variance to increase lot coverage to 29%. Applicant now seeks additional relief to increase the maximum permitted lot coverage from 29% to 43% to accommodate changes to the backyard amenities and as depicted on the accessory building variance plan, Hart Residence, prepared by Keplinger Freeman Associates.
I don't believe the plan was dated,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
so we can probably date that. If you can submit a revised plan with the date.
Is a balloon brought in, or like a digital copy, email to the whatever is fine. Just
Do we need a hard copy or is it a digital copy with the date and everything on it?
Hard copy would be great.
Sounds good.
Just date it for today.
What's that?
Date it for today.
Yeah, just date it for today. In addition, applicant asked for variance relief to construct an accessory structure 29 feet in height, 14 feet higher than the 15-foot height that is permitted. In support of the application, applicant submitted an application for variance building elevations consisting of sheets A1, A2, A3 titled Hart Court, prepared by Rod Vanderwater, dated January 28, 2021. Accessory building variance plan, Hart Residence, prepared by Keplinger Freeman Associates, and a short environmental assessment form dated August 28, 2025. A public hearing on the application was held on October 14, 2025, and the applicant addressed the area variance criteria. A letter was also submitted in support of the applicant dated October 7, 2025. Based upon the foregoing, the board resolves as follows. The matter is type 2 under the State Environmental Quality Review Act as it involves the granting of an area variance related to a single-family residential use. 2, it is determined that the request variance relief will not produce an undesirable change in the residential character of the neighborhood and will not be a detriment to nearby properties. Variance relief to further increase lot coverage will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. Neighbors did not express any opposition to the variance. There is no apparent method to achieve the benefit of the applicant wishes to obtain other than the variance, and the benefit to the applicant does outweigh any detriment to the neighborhood or community because of granting the variance relief. 3, the requested area variance relief is hereby granted to allow the maximum permitted lot coverage to increase from 29% to 43%. In accordance with the accessory building variance plan, Hart Residence, prepared by California Freeman Associates, and the board does further grant the applicant's request to construct an accessory recreational structure 29 feet in height in accordance with sheets A1, A2, and A3 titled Hart Court, prepared by Rod Vanderwater, dated January 28, 2021, for property located at 422 Dewport Road, tax map number 064-03-46.1. End of motion.
Couple questions. You had said 43% in the number 3. You read 43%, but it reads 45%.
I changed that to 40. It is 43%.
Okay, so you're going to 43%.
Yep.
Okay, the next question. On the first page, last paragraph, the short EAF is dated 9/8 is what we want on record, right? Not the 8/28, because they had 2. They changed it. They changed the EAF dated 9/8, right?
No, I think the EAF.
I think it was just an application.
Yeah, the application got changed. The EAF is still dated 8/28.
Okay. All right, and then the next question, first paragraph, which should be 29 feet. Should we put in parentheses average height with a peak of 32 feet?
I was gonna suggest that. Save any future.
Yep.
Correct.
Good. So we'll be changing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down. We're starting on the 4th line down. Height variance to allow for the accessory recreational structure to be 29 feet tall with a median, or with a peak height of 32 feet.
And you'll need to change, in the second paragraph, last sentence, you'll need to change that 29 feet median height.
Okay.
Same in the last paragraph.
Yep.
Any other comments?
Do we say median, mean, right? Mean, right? Average, mean.
Median.
It's the average, right? It's the average height? So it's mean.
Average.
Okay. Either one. Average, mean, total. Either one will work. It is mean.
End
Median.
of motion with requested edit.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against?
That'd be roll call?
Yeah, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Sykes?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nugent?
Yes.
Ms. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Schallenbach?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
That's signed to me.
All right, next item on the agenda, Miss Mary Kriegel, 47 Cross Country Drive, tax map ID number 033-01-05-31.0. This is for a subdivision application. Good evening. Here, I can throw that up right up here for you. Right up here on the steps. Forward.
I've seen her a long time.
Yeah.
No, it was not. Let's close it off. All right, can you give your name and address, please?
Mary Freedom, 47 Cross Country Drive, Baldwin, Florida.
What are you looking to do?
I want to subdivide off the east end of my lot. My lot is this, very long, very narrow. Drainage easements going right about there, and sloped up. I want to subdivide off this section to sell to my neighbors, have more land for their dog property. And I think I submitted a letter too, that they agreed to buy it, so it's not going to be a landlocked parcel.
Yep, letter received. So knowing this lot as I do, I can understand why you're trying to subdivide it.
Well, they've been maintaining it for several years because the older I get, the harder it is for me to mow it.
Understood. So
I'll
there.
stop paying them to mow it.
So we're talking about the small parcel. It's obviously there's slope on, well, not obviously because there's no contours there. I know there's slope because there's a drainage easement that falls behind the properties along Naylor Circle and then heads north. So to move to, I guess, is there any comments at this time regarding the application? This is a simple subdivision, so this won't have to go to county. It's not access, there's no county rights to this property. We will have to call for a public hearing on this item. Let's just open up the board. Is there any questions or comments you want to present at this time? All right. Chair entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing for November 12th. No.
13th.
Is it the 13th?
12th is a Wednesday.
Oh, the 12th. Yes, it is the Wednesday after.
It's the Wednesday after, right? So it's the 12th, yeah. So we're moving the date of the meeting because of Veterans Day. So Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 for the Miss Mary Kriegel, 47 Cross Country Drive, tax map ID number 033.1-05-31.0. End of motion.
Move.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Scheduled. Thank you for coming this evening.
Guess you gotta keep
Short and sweet. We got one more meeting to go. We can go through the process next meeting. Thank you. Good evening. All right, next item on the agenda, Sarah McBride, 532 Crandon Terrace, tax map ID number 031.7-01-01.0. This is for an area variance. Can you give your name and address, please?
Yep, Sarah McBride, 532 Crandon Terrace, Baldwinsville, 18007. So we are asking for an area variance to put a fence in. Due to the triangular size of our lot, and being the first in the neighborhood, most of our property is to the side of the house. And directly behind our house, it tends to get very wet. So we have a 1-year-old daughter that we would like to be able to keep contained and fence in our yard. And the building line is very close to the house. We did in the pictures you guys all have, we marked out 40 feet, how far we want the fence, and it's marked there. It's also, I know it's small here, but there's a tiny little slide here, that's where the fence will come out. And this one is this one is an AI rendering. It does come out a little farther than it actually will, but it will in no way affect the visibility at the corner of Crandon and O'Brien. From every angle, we made sure, but we are asking to come out 15 feet past the building line.
Thank you. So, couple questions before, we'll have to have a public hearing for this also, so this is automatically a 2 meeting. I don't know if anybody told you that. If they haven't, I apologize, but on the map that you show that you traced out, where the fence is, what is the distance that you're heading basically in the southern direction coming off of your building line past the shed? What is that dimension?
Past, like away from the shed, back there, it's.
Pretty much lines up with.
Hold on, let's see. Oh, this right here?
Yeah, that dimension right there. And it's fine, so I would.
A little more than 15 feet.
It's probably 17 feet.
So I would just say that before the next meeting, the public hearing, just make sure you have all the dimensions of the fence as they protrude out of the building lot.
The fence going past the building line isn't the issue though, right? It's strictly height.
Yeah.
Strictly height.
Yeah, it's a height issue, but just to have dimensions across all of it.
What's this zone?
So being that you're on a corner lot, obviously you have 2 front yards. And I have driven by the house. I agree that I don't see any issues with sight distance with a proposed fence. When was the shed installed?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Been there quite a while, Mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been there quite a while, Mark, because I remember dealing with some stuff up there.
Yeah, the shed looks old.
About as old as what you can see on Google Maps.
2009?
Oh, really, 2009? Is the plan to keep the shed?
For now.
It just stands out that it was built where it was built more than anything.
And that's why we're choosing. Yeah, and that's why we're choosing to go behind the shed. So then, when we eventually do want to replace it, we'll still be within the fence.
Well,
You'll be
But I know
back
at
for a
that point,
variance.
yeah. That's
It's staying.
Yeah, it's not moving.
yeah, if you're gonna rebuild the shed, it can't go in that location.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would actually have to be inside the building.
Okay, yep.
That's- But the fact that it's been there and grandfathered in, and I'm assuming it was there before you bought the house,
It was.
then it is what it is until you touch it. So,
But the shed,
No, now, yeah.
Yeah.
the shed right now exists in the front yard.
Likely, yeah.
correct, yeah.
So should we clean it up now?
Well, the fact that,
Or just,
I don't know if codes,
Pretty sure that's what Nadine wanted to do, right? Clean it all up at one time.
I don't think it would hurt.
so we would have to approve the shed being located where it is.
Essentially, it's another area variance.
The question I had to avoid that area variance is coming off the eastern side of the house. If you were to extend that more to capture the corner of the building line, I don't know if you'd be able to put the shed in the corner of the building line there. And you wouldn't take up as much of your yard if you wanted to, again, put a shed in down the road. So when I looked at this, I'm like, why didn't they just extend it to try to capture that corner of the building line on the east side of the property? The fence.
But in doing so, would that limit site distances?
I don't know, that's the question.
Yeah.
Follow the building line, it actually extends it out farther towards the corner. And then it also makes, you would have to like, make it like multiple angles and it won't look as nice. Yeah.
So you want to put a 6-foot stockade fence in?
Yeah, a white vinyl fence.
Okay. So I agree, based on these conversations, we're probably going to go after this with 2 different variances here.
Okay.
You'll have a variance for the accessory structure being built outside of the building line, but also, so you're going to have a variance for the 6-foot versus the 3.5-foot.
Yeah.
So this entire length of this fence will be 6 foot.
Yes.
Okay.
So do I need to submit another variance for the shed?
Another application for the shed? I would assume we would have to.
Yeah, I would submit an amended application. It shouldn't delay anything. They'll just schedule the public hearing for both. But, you know, as soon as you can, just get that application in.
Yep, no problem.
Anything else the board wants to see at this point? Moving forward?
I think you really should look at that, though.
What's that?
You'd probably have to pay a surveyor to do it to see if you could extend those northern and southern boundary lines further out to increase the distance of the fence. Obviously, it's going to cost you more money, but then you could plop that shed in the corner of the building line there and see what it would do to your site distances. I think that's a better solution than going for a variance.
I guess I'm not quite following. You
So-
need to move the building line?
So no, you see how you've got your fence drawn here? If you were to extend this out and capture that corner of the building line right there, right? Then you could put your shed right there.
Yeah.
Or
Well, they're not looking to build a fence or a shed right now.
And we don't have to.
But the-
We're just gonna make.
even in that
I get what you're saying.
location,
Yes, that does make
even in
more
that
sense.
location, the shed would be in the front yard still.
Right.
Because they're
It
all
would,
front yard.
I mean, it would. I mean, they have 2 front yards, they're still gonna need the variance, but then they're not outside the building line.
But they actually have more front yard than anybody I've ever seen. Like,
They do.
This is all front yard.
Yeah, there's no backyard.
We found that out the hard way.
Yeah.
You don't believe them, come over.
No, yeah, I believe it, like I said, so. All right, so Chair entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 for Sarah McBride, 532 Crandon Terrace, Baldwinsville, New York, 13027, tax map ID number 031.7-01-01.0 for an area variance for 6-foot height fence in the front yard and an accessory structure in the front yard. And a motion.
So move.
Second. Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against? Schedule. So yeah, if you could just make those minor edits to the site plan and then resubmit that application. We'll just amend it. And we'll get everything going. We'll see you next month.
Sounds good. 6 o'clock again next month?
6 o'clock, yep.
Thank you.
On Wednesday.
It's on the 12th.
On or the 12th. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
What is this?
Lot combining.
Are you just gonna do both? We're gonna have the Harbor Heights.
Yeah, this is the last
Is he done?
I don't know where. I don't know where this lot is. I tried to find it. And this wasn't very helpful.
Oh, look at you.
There was no boards.
Multitasking.
All right. I don't know if we can allow that. We gotta be on separate boards. All right. Next item on the agenda, CDS Housing, Van Buren Road, tax map ID number 031.03-06 and tax map ID number 031.03-07. This is for a minor subdivision, merging the 2 parcels. Name and address, please.
Good evening, Al Yeager, CHA Consulting, 300 South 8th Street, Suite 600, Syracuse, New York, 13202.
Do tell.
This project was in front of the board in 2003. It received site plan approval. One of the contingencies of the site plan approval was that the subdivision be completed to merge these two lots. Public hearing was held, zone change was granted to PUD. This is an administerial action, really. The reason for the rush on this is there is a building permit has been submitted to the codes office. Part of their construction financing through HDR requires them to have all building permits in place before they can close on their construction financing, which is scheduled for the middle of November. Codes office can't issue the building permits because the building crosses the lot line until the subdivision is completed.
Yeah.
So that is why we are in front of you this evening. We'd love to get an approval this evening by Van Buren Town Code Section 17510. The planning board is authorized to waive any requirements required for approval of a subdivision. In this instance, a subdivision application being classified as a minor subdivision, with a public hearing having already been held for the overall project and the site plan for the project having already been approved, with a condition that the approval be of the approval being the subdivision to combine the two lots into one. Would the planning board be willing to waive the public hearing in this instance and allow us to get a resolution to approve the subdivision this evening?
We'll discuss. Okay, so why did this last so long?
Quite honestly, it just fell through the cracks. It's not me, I'll say it. I thought we had done it, went back through our records, we had not done it. So we're trying to, like I said, meet a scheduling deadline for closing on the construction financing.
Mark, I spoke to the assessor today with regard to this. This is a lot merger. They need to go to the county and just file 2 new deeds and have the deeds mention that it is a lot merger. I did ask her if you guys needed to approve something. She said that was up to you guys. But
I think the way the Van Buren code reads, planning board has to approve.
It's not a continuous lot until it's filed at the clerk's office at the county. So until those deeds are filed, it's still 2 separate lots.
Understood.
So I've talked to our attorneys on this, and there was a recommendation that we do a public hearing on this. So my question, and I'm going to refer back to the board and see what their thoughts are, but if we did hold a public hearing on this, it would be obviously Wednesday, the 12th of November. There's still time by mid-November to get this all squared away.
And then how much time our codes department needs to finalize the building permit after that?
The building plans are out for third-party review right now, so they're saying it's going to be right around their time frame.
So same time frame as what we do.
It's up to the county and the attorneys to file the deeds.
So I open up to the board. Does the board have any question or comments or concerns with whether or not to hold a public hearing?
Yeah, when was the original approval on the site plan?
September 2023, I believe.
My first meeting.
Yeah. Did you research that or do you remember that?
I remember that. I remember this.
Jesse's been asking about this for 2 years now.
Are they going to combine those lots?
Pick up the phone, call me.
Yeah, I apologize. I did.
Well,
Are you asking everybody's opinion?
yeah, I would like to get the board's opinion on whether or not, based on my discussions with the town's attorneys and their recommendation, based on what the codes office has said in regards to reviews of the building permit that is now underway by a third party with the same time frame as what these approvals would be. What's the board's thoughts on moving the process to a public hearing?
So there's a couple other things to consider here. After this is approved, it's got to go to health department for their final approval. Signing, filing, everything else, we're really kind of
I understand that, but we also brought this to this agenda meeting and we just got this stuff.
Yep, I appreciate the accommodation.
I mean, at the very, if we held this to another, you'd be in the middle of December. And so,
So the original application we considered it as the lots were merged when we considered it.
Correct.
that was a condition of it.
Condition of the approval.
I have no problem with not having a hearing.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of public comment the first time around.
There was not. I do
I doubt
remember
it.
that.
I don't think there's gonna be much
Is anybody
change.
here?
Yeah.
Jamie, any thoughts?
No, I got no question.
Jim?
I'm good with.
Not holding a public hearing?
Not holding a public hearing.
Same, I'm okay with that.
James?
What was the basis for the lawyers, just being lawyers? No offense.
To advise our,
We didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night either.
I can only give advice, that's all I can do.
I couldn't resist, I'm sorry, I don't have a problem.
I mean,
I'm just trying to bring some levity to it, that's all.
yes, they're here to advise the board.
I understand, I was just bringing levity to it. I don't have a problem with if it was prior approval and just kind of fell through the cracks. We've already done the administrative work behind it, so.
The only thing and I agree, and the fact that there was a public hearing held on this previously with the understanding that the lots would be combined, you're kind of going through the same motion either way, so.
Is it agreed that the statement he read that we do have the ability to waive that public hearing as a board?
I know that language in there, it's not clear that that necessarily applies to the public hearing requirement, which is, one of the reasons we had recommended that the board hold a public hearing, just as a safety precaution, but.
I will say, it does say any requirements,
Yeah.
any meeting at all.
This went for a public hearing before though, correct?
On the site plan.
On the site plan, not the lot combining, the subdivision. Okay.
That's correct. It was under the site plan, and the approval of the site plan was with the
conditioned upon-
condition that these would be combined.
And that's how it was presented to the public.
That's correct. And that's how it was approved and within the resolution.
I don't see any issues then.
And this does not need to go to county planning,
Correct.
so there's no issue there.
Which would then have thrown everything to a second meeting
Yeah.
anyway, but that's because it's a minor subdivision.
You want to word a resolution so we can vote on it?
Yeah. Rushing me. Where's Nadine when I need her? You got any thoughts on a resolution here?
I can whip one up for you, Mark.
I bet you.
I would just have a motion to approve the application of CDS Monarch Inc. for a minor subdivision lot merger to combine lots, tax parcel ID number 031.03-07.0 and 031.03-06.0 for a combined parcel totaling 4.89 acres in size. I think that's sufficient. And you could also include in that resolution that the planning board you completed seeker previously for the site plan, so just reaffirm the negative declaration previously adopted by the board on September 23rd, 2023.
I don't know if it's the 23rd.
We can find that out. Who's got a phone available?
I think that's correct. The 23rd, I'll look it up.
That's what.
It's whatever the second Tuesday of that month was.
But we can send I'll send an email with that written out for the minute.
Yeah, I apologize. This is actually under my
You're okay.
things that I was supposed to do.
I'm not getting that date in 2023.
Does that sufficiently capture?
Be earlier in the month.
The only thing I would add, and I would have stated it
The
pretty much
date.
the same as you, on a map prepared, as shown on a map prepared by IU News and Romans dated
Yep.
October 9th, 2025.
Got it.
And it's September 12th,
12.
2023. End of motion.
Moved what he said.
Which pieces are we moving? His, and yours? I move second.
It's the chair's motion.
I second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Carried.
We must trust this L guy.
Moved. Virginia.
He's sticking around.
Here we're
No, you should go home now.
Just flip
You just gotta win.
Just flip the board.
Just turn around, walk right out like the door. All right. Okay. Give me a second. Drops a lot of paper on my desk here. All right, last item on the agenda, Harbor Heights, Downer Street, tax map ID number 036.03-21.0. This is for a zone change from an AR40 to a PUD and a referral to the town board. Name and address, please.
Al Yeager, CHA Consulting, 300 South State 300 South State Street, Suite 600, Syracuse, New York, 13202.
Still at 27.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Thanks for having me back. We met with the PUD committee on October 3rd, Friday afternoon, to discuss what we show here currently for proposed PUD zoning requirements. This reflects reduction in lots of 2. We went from 29 to 27 when we were here before. The minimum lot size is 13,500 square feet. The minimum lot width is 90 feet. The minimum lot depth is 150 feet. The front yard setback is 25 feet, principal and accessory. The side yard setback is 5 feet with 20-foot total provided. The minimum side yard accessory is 5 feet. Minimum rear yard is 25 feet for the principal structure, 5 feet for the accessory, and the maximum building height is 30 feet with a maximum lot coverage of 35%. We have, in addition to that, we have done stormwater calculations and prepared a grading plan to show you what the grading of the site will look like.
Well, I guess before you continue, there's 3 members that are part of this committee that sit here on the board. Is there any comments regarding that committee meeting that want to be kind of discussed here up front, or anything to add? For all the people in the audience, but to the rest of the board members?
So it was James, Jamie, and myself, and we took the time to kind of go through Harbor Heights in a little bit of detail as far as lot sizes and setbacks and some other things, but lot sizes is really sort of what we concentrated on. And I do have a map, but there's nobody to really show it to, but there's a huge variety of lot sizes in Harbor Heights. The smallest lot sizes are down around 7,500 even in the newer part of Harbor Heights. And then there's lot sizes that are well in excess of 25,000 down by the river, and then actually sprinkled throughout other parts of Harbor Heights. So there's a big variety of lot sizes, and there's no defined like this is this size lots and these are these size. It's pretty well intermingled and intermixed. So considering that there's a big variety of lot sizes, we took the whole of Harbor Heights in aggregate and looked at the whole area versus the whole number of lots and kind of came up with a density. What's the average density of Harbor Heights? we took that density and then applied it to this 13 or 15 acres, don't remember what it is, but, and came up with something like 26, 26 and a half, maybe 27 lots. And when the developer came back in to talk to us after our meeting, it's kind of where they had landed also. So it worked as far as what we were thinking. Lot widths also vary quite a lot in Harbor Heights, but this is a good width considering the number of lots and the density that this development is shaping up to be. And then we talked about other things like driveway depths and lot coverage, because that's a little bit of a topic right now. And there wasn't any points that were big sticking points once we met with the developer. We massaged a few things, but they were pretty much on par with what we had come up with. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, James, or?
No, you know, when I first looked at this plan, if you look at the top here, you'll see that there's 15 lots going across at 14. That's previously been developed in Harbor Heights track. And so when I initially looked at this plan, I thought, oh, it's going to be 26 to 28 lots. And as Jim said, the calculations came in right there. And we also felt that a higher density near the road is probably something that we're seeing more and more as developments go. As you get deeper back into the lots, like Jim said, on the river, you get larger lots. So we didn't feel that this was too tight of a density, given that it's up by the road, and it mirrors a lot of what's there today.
I think the only, I don't want to say strange, it's not the right word. We did decide to vary the setback a little bit. Al, do you want to speak to that?
Sure. So setbacks can be varied in the front yard in a PUD. These lots on the curve, we're going back to these 3 lots here. We're going back to a 35-foot setback to make them work. There are also some of the larger lots in the subdivision, which works essentially from a lot development size.
But you almost need that setback to get the front yard.
The width, to get the lot width that the board desires, correct. And that's where lot width is based off of the front yard building setback line by the Van Buren Town Code requirements.
And that also helped with stacking cars in the driveway as well.
Mm-hmm.
So to avoid cars on the street, that's something else we looked at, is to make sure that there was enough setback so we could at least stack 2 cars in the driveway and not have parking on the road.
And then with lot coverage, we went a little bit higher percentage than what we've seen in our code before, just to accommodate for the fact that more people are using outdoor space with patios and hardscapes and pools and driveways and accessory structures. And we thought inching that up a little bit modestly was probably the right thing to do.
Okay. Well, I'd like to just thank the committee for starting this process and meeting with the developer and taking their time outside of regular board meetings to hold these meetings. So I guess I cut you off a little there, but I wanted to make sure Jim had a chance to voice his thoughts. We appreciate the committee's time. They're great to work with, but honestly, they really came to the same, as Jim said, they really came to the same conclusion that we came to in our evaluation and redesign. So it was a very, very streamlined, easy process.
Took you off your game.
We'll go on to grading. That's okay.
Yeah. Now, how far from the property line from the road is it?
So we've developed a grading plan that includes stormwater management, backyard swale here. Ultimately, there will be a swale constructed here. We just haven't gotten those backyards graded yet. As shown, the pond reduces peak flows to the 10-year storm event from 1.78 CFS per second to 1.6. And for the 100-year storm event from 7.42 CFS to 5.96 CFS. So we are providing significant reduction in peak flow from this property that reaches what's ultimately a really undefined swale that goes to a culvert to the east at the crossing of Southgate. I spoke with Jason about this before. This would be an ideal time to talk to those homeowners about establishing an easement there and incorporating it into the drainage district and doing some improvements to get that area to drain a little better than it does right now.
I was referring to an existing ditch back there that drains the Piano Key lots on Downer Street and back houses on Lanyard. Town never took an easement through there when those were developed, so it's town water essentially that's going through private property, and the town would be wise to get easements through there. However, it may be difficult getting those from the property owners. That's something we're looking into on the town level.
Is there any way you could discharge that to the west and go under Kamain and dump it out toward the flow area?
That's not the direction. That the only very small portion, less than like 3/4 an acre down here flows that way now. So we wouldn't be allowed to do that under the stormwater design guidelines.
So in your letter, you mentioned that you've been in contact with Aqua, New York State DOT. You haven't heard back from the DOT?
I haven't gotten a response back yet. No, I didn't send the letter until middle of last week. Again, I just don't see this being an issue. There's certainly more than enough site distance. You guys are all familiar with it. It's straight and level there. It's every property is allowed a curb cut that fronts a state highway, so they're not going to deny a curb cut. And from a traffic impact statement, this is through 31 where our peak hour volumes are minuscule in the whole grand scheme of things. So pretty
understood. I would like to have some sort of a traffic memo put together regarding that and how you develop.
You want just a letter from the DOT saying that they're amenable to it, or do you want me to have Gordon do a?
Well, there's two things. So there's two things. We need to get a response from the DOT that they're good with where you show it. Yeah. I agree with everything you presented regarding site distance and everything like that. So that's the one thing. The second thing is a traffic study for this, a traffic memo. This doesn't have to be your 100% right.
Do you want that before the referral back to the town board? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So there's, I refer back to the section of the code that there's, 22 items there that we really need to get answers for on every single one of these stormwater. You've started the stormwater layout. If there's some additional swales that need to be put on there, we need to continue those conversations. Grading of, you could read it. I've sent it to you already. Before we make a final, referral back to the town or town board, we need to make sure that you and your client come in and address every single one of those items. And when I reference back to a traffic study, if your firm can do a traffic memo, with what a trip generation would be for this type of site, you don't have to get Gordon Stansberry involved. We would need.
So we would, as you know, when you start developing full slips and everything else, it gets expensive really fast for our clients. In this instance, because we are asking for a PUD zone change, we'd like to be able to show the conceptual grading. We'll certainly provide the model to Jason of what we did. We'd like some relief on, hey, we're not going to produce the 300-page SWIP document at this time. We'll give Jason the model to review and on a grading plan and things like that.
I'm okay with that. I just,
Yeah.
what we're talking about is how this stormwater grading or anything's gonna impact any of these properties.
Yep.
The
Totally.
size of your stormwater management area, if you feel that you're in a good place with that, obviously it's not gonna affect 12, 13, 14, or 15, or even 11 any more than it already is. But if you start looking at some additional drainage, swales, piping, or anything like that, that might start impacting some of these usable lots.
Yeah, I mean, really, the stuff downstream this way, I mean, we'll work with Jason in any way needed to accomplish. I mean, it is, now, as Jason said, now would be the time to capture that into an actual town-controlled easement.
Yep.
And, I mean, it's pretty overgrown through there, to say the least. It's that.
Where are you guys at with the wetland stuff? You're running out of time.
Plumbing's supposed to be there next week.
Okay. So that's just something else, on top of that, we'd like to get an idea on.
Okay.
Just kind of flipping through some of this stuff. Does the board have any other questions or comments while I flip through this?
When you do that traffic memo out, you should include the other parcel as well. The Westico main.
So because we haven't made a new application for that at this time, we would like these two to be considered as standalone projects. We'll certainly account for this when we do the traffic memo for the larger parcel that'll have more lots. If that's acceptable.
But you know that future development's coming. So I would put some sort of, as Jason's saying, some sort of assumptions in what that could be. And if you go maximum, then, you go maximum with it.
Okay.
We're going to require, just because they're utilizing, similar routes back onto 31.
I think it's right there.
Okay.
I meant to mention that, I apologize. Thank you, Jason, for reminding that, because that is in my notes. Once again, it's a trip generation to a, unsignalized intersection. So.
Yeah.
I think I captured most of everything else in your list as far as what's required between the application, this resubmission, and my cover letter.
Yeah, the only other thing I would... The only thing I would say is, if you do have, I don't know if there's a plan in here. I mean, I'd like to get some more time to look at this.
Yeah.
More than the last
I got it.
10 minutes. But, showing, drainage piping, just general areas of where you're going to flow, where your outlets are going to be into the swale, utility plan. It looks like you've worked out your issues with the easement there for the overhead that I think you claimed before that you don't even think there's an easement there.
Not one file.
It's interesting in its own rights. But it looks like you've crossed over, you don't have a house going through it anymore, which is good.
We are going to, as part of the URD process, we are going to approach National Grid.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, this just makes sense for you and for us to get this underground now, rather than...
Is that where you're going to go with it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll get anywhere with them, but that's what we're going to try as we enter into the URD process. I mean, you never can tell with National Grid on... I know they like having their facilities underground, and if they get an opportunity to put something underground that is, of minimal or no cost, they're going to go for it.
You're going to do it down the whole neighborhood or just?
No. No, just to this pole right there.
Up, down, in. Okay. All right, no, I appreciate all the work that's been done since the committee meeting and getting this package together and addressing some of the, some of our questions and comments. I would just ask that, next meeting, we'll have a chance to look at this. If we do have any comments, definitely share them with you ahead of the next meeting so that we can make any adjustments necessary. Lot 26 here, the pie-shaped lot there, it's a little strange, but I'm not sure what else you can do there.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is those lots are going to be the lowest price lots in the subdivision.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
A lot of times what happens with lots like that is somebody will buy both of them and build one house. That's what we've seen in the past, but at the same time, the developer doesn't want to lose the opportunity to have an additional lot.
Yeah, and we've seen it, I mean, obviously we've seen it in other developments within the town.
And that's how you get to such varied lot sizes too. I'm sure that's some of the reason why Harbor Heights has such varied lot widths and sizes.
So I would just say, for the next meeting, if you feel that, you're ready and, the board will be ready for any referral next meeting, I would just ask that you go through every single one of these items, and during the presentation of all these, that you walk through every single one and say, this is that, this is this, that, and just get all through them.
Okay.
And we should be.
As far as county sewer capacity, I know, you guys have seen there.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on one for Timberbanks for 9 months now.
No, I know.
But what we do know is there's certainly capacity in that 8-inch that conveys sewer to the existing 8-inch that conveys sewer to the pump station. And the pump station was designed to accept the flow from Whispering Oaks and Seneca Garden Estates on the other side of the river. That would ultimately ended up not come to fruition, and that went back to the village pump station.
Yeah, I'll have some continued conversations with Jason on this, and we'll work through all this, so.
Sounds good. Yeah, if you give me any comments that you do come up with beforehand, that'd be great. I'll make sure we get them addressed.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Al. All right. Anything else from the board on any items before we close tonight's meeting? Chair entertain a motion to close the October 14th, 2025 Town of Van Buren Zoning and Planning Board meeting. Move.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.